Hello and welcome, everyone. It's Gary Sparazande. Thank you for tuning in and connecting. We've got an absolutely massive Q&A session today with Maria Martinez, a world-shaking, earth-moving, vibrational, releasing, and energizing Q&A today. And I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about how to create unstoppable prosperity, how to awaken your unstoppable confidence, limitless possibilities, and infinite abundance. And we're also going to be doing something that I've never heard anyone talk about, and I've shared this earlier in the intention session. We are going to be looking into the field of energy and releasing through a group process something that Maria says, quote unquote, is a dark, sticky substance, a death energy, victim energy, or dull film in the field that has a resonance of unworthiness, undeserving, victimization, powerlessness, or helplessness, and others pick up on it, quote unquote. So we're going to be jumping into that too, around the point when we usually do it, probably around the 40-minute mark of the call, 45-minute, and I'm very excited because I've never heard anyone else talk about this except for me and a few other people. This is something I've seen. For me, it was the color green, and I would see this in clients when I did hypnosis work, or I would see it occupying their physical body as some sort of entity type energetic. So we're going to get into some deep stuff today. This is going to be big, and that's what I want for everybody. I want to have quantum galactic transformation, and our guest today is the one to do it. Her name is Maria Martinez. We love her here at You Wealth Revolution. She's a huge giver, and she is here to actually help us move forward because Maria is a natural-born healer, and from a small child age, she's been working with angels, guides, spiritual mentors, and she's helped thousands of people to release lack, scarcity, and reconnect to their gifts, talents, and transform their relationships with money, wealth, and prosperity to manifest more money and have more money-making opportunities in her life and in their lives. Maria supports you in identifying your gifts, your talents, discovering your life purpose, accessing full potential to achieve happiness, joy, fulfillment, and prosperity. And she has the ability to see, feel, and know and hear your deepest desires and clear anything blocking you from stepping into your greatness. She's a catalyst for change, healing, and transformation. She's also a clear channel for source and higher dimensional light beings. She can help you remove blocks to having it all. Now, Maria is very ancient. And I want to get into that because I did not know this. I mean, I guess we're all ancient, but this is interesting. And she was created to usher humanity into their awakening and enlightenment so you can access and we can all access our divine human divine potential. She is part of the Galactic Council, and her purpose is to weave galaxies together to keep the balance, protect humanity, empower them to evolve and ascend and access the upper dimensions. Know thy true self. And she is here to welcome light travelers, starseeds, healers, indigo, crystal, rainbow children to awaken their gifts and fulfill their soul mission. So we are going to get into this really quick. And her work is as a human potential activator and wealth consciousness activator. And we're going to do this. Now, I want to share one of the things that she works on is the area of money. And I got to read some stories because we got some very cool things happening. One person said, every time I listen to your MP3s, I make $1,000. I purchased your Wealthy Goddess Code, and in gratitude for all the wonderful work we have done previously, I'm really enjoying it, especially since every time I listen to one of your MP3s, I make $1,000. I am so grateful. I received an award and check for $1,600, says Cheryl. Another win. Another person, my fear of failure, says Jonah, was completely removed from my field. Another person said, I was on the verge of getting fired to being now offered a director position. I was in fear. I was in panic and every bit of frantic about my job. The fact that I was afraid of losing it, my boss kept threatening to fire me if I did another thing wrong. I did not feel respected, honored, or valued. After working with Maria, I realized how this was a reflection of me, and we cleared it all out. I wonder if they cleared out that dark energy that we're going to do today. And I went from being on the verge of getting fired to being offered a director position, says Caroline. So we got to get that out. We're going to get started getting it out, and we're going to fill you up with some love. So let's welcome Maria Martinez back to You Wealth Revolution. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always a pleasure and so excited to be with all of you today. And I love, love, love the energy that we're in. It's so beautiful, so expanded, so full of love. Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited. I think this is going to be one of those really legendary days energetically at UWealth. Seems like all the stars are aligning. As I was reading your bio, I was going through and, I read things and, I take the words and I pronounce things. And then I read this one line and I was like, wait a minute. Did I read that right? And I'm almost, wondering, like, wow, why did that slow me down? We're all very ancient, but it says Maria is very ancient and was created to usher humanity into their awakening and enlightenment. So tell me about this. Let's go into what you're learning about your soul template, because this is important for all of us to know as well.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And that's a very good question for everybody, right? When we ask, and when we ask and we directly connect and what is our true ancient purpose? So we have a purpose here on this journey, and then we have a higher purpose, the purpose of our original creation. And that's what I'm referring to. And yes, a lot of us are very ancient, but we're now, or we've forgotten that knowledge, and we're now awakening to that. And some of it is coming in just in flow and energy, and others, we're still working through our lessons, our learnings, and we are reconnecting with that. I just happen to be aware of, the reason why I was created through readings, through my own meditations, through working with my guides and my angels, through doing traveling to other lifetimes and discovering and knowing and learning about myself. So it's been a wonderful experience for me to connect to that ancient wisdom and to uncover many of the lifetimes that I've lived and expressed myself as a light worker, as a teacher, as a mentor, and worked in alignment with the divine to empower, to support, to guide, and to do this work that I'm doing here now in releasing the interferences, that dark energy that we talked about, that spiritual interferences, the galactic interferences that are not serving us. So that's part of the weaving the galaxies together and supporting humanity, is releasing and removing the interferences. Because a lot of that, if we're not aware, if we're not consciously aware or even, spiritually aware, then we don't know to do anything about it. And some of us that have been sort of commissioned to do that, we can see what's there, and we can, kind of look into the layers, look into the dimensions, and help remove that, which we'll do a little bit of that today, and I'm really excited about that. And again, it's powerful work that, there's probably several in the call that do that kind of work, and that's what we're here. We're here to reset and to come back to our original template of pure source codes and pure light energy, and then live our life in that way of abundant flow and prosperity.
Yes.
So it's truly amazing. Yes.
Yeah, it absolutely sounds like it. And when you mention these templates, right, that they may be false constructs, they might be artificial grids that come down or that we take on. Tell me, where do they come from? I mean, what are these sort of artificial energetics that can block us from what we're really here to do and create and be?
Yeah. So they come from different sources. So some of them are from the 3D here. Some of them are from outside intergalactic. Some of them come from other lifetimes. So this is an example. So this is an example, like being here in the 3D. And this has to do with our emotions. So if we're running an emotion of sadness, of grief, of depression, of self-loathing or rejection, we're actually creating an imbalance in our template. And that's that energy that I was referring to. One of the ways that energy can be created that becomes sort of death energy, it's like a toxic energy that begins to siphon and eat away your light and dims your light. And now, there's a part of you, it's like the light switch, like being turned off, or, the chandelier having broken light bulbs. There's parts that are not lit for you to fully express your radiance and your brilliance. So that's one way that they can be created, by the emotion. And because we manifest everything, we're creators, we're manifestors. And sometimes we don't realize that we're creating from a lower vibration because we're intellectually focused on abundance and prosperity, but unconsciously we're creating from a different place. So we're creating that type of energy. But the other one, it's interferences.
Okay. So tell me about the signs that we may be creating from a lower energy, or even the signs that we have an interference. What does that start to look like in somebody's life? How does it show up?
Yeah. So the signs for that, so there's a couple of ways to look at that. One is really self-awareness, right? Which sometimes it takes a little bit for us to step out and then see our behavior and see the decisions that we're making from where we're making them. So when we can recognize that we made a decision out of fear, that's a low vibration. That already tainted that decision. Even if it was a great opportunity, even if it was the best opportunity that was available to us, because we made it, and then we made it out of, I have to make it, otherwise it's going to pass me on, or I have to make it because if I don't make it, then there's no other choice. That's fear instead of, wow, this sounds so wonderful. Yes. This sounds like an amazing opportunity. So you see the energy is different. So we're already creating that. And so a way to recognize that is when you're second-guessing yourself, when you're doubting, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling stressed. Those are all signs of being out of alignment. Those are signs of creating the imbalance in your energy field. And the other area that it may not be as apparent is when you have entity interferences. You know, sometimes when you make a decision and it feels like, I made it from a good decision, I'm completely trusting it, but something comes in and derails that. Something just, delays that. Something just feels like it's not going well. And it doesn't feel like it's anything in your control or your power. It just feels like unexpected. So that's one way. The other is internal. When let's say you just got an amazing job, and then all of a sudden you get sick and you can't go, or you can't make it, or something gets in the way, your car breaks down, you can't get to it. You can't get to this new opportunity. Those are all signs of something else that is interfering. And some of it, again, may be something that you're manifesting or something that you're inviting in because it's resonating with the energy that you're vibrating. So let's talk about that. Something you're resonating or putting out with that is inviting or bringing in the energy. So that almost sounds like a live exchange, almost like a live feed. We have a live feed open on our computer. We're just kind of watching a camera. And there's just information like that we're able to look at that's streaming in. Does such a thing exist where we start just connecting almost like a live feed or a stream to some sort of lower vibrational, energetic, or reality or entity being? Yeah. So this is very familiar if you're an empath or a sensitive.
Okay.
So if you go into an environment, it's your natural sort of nature to start taking in information. And start exchanging, and especially if you're a natural healer. If you feel pain, if you feel something that just is a low vibration, you immediately go to heal that. So there's the exchange already happening. But the same thing happens when you're holding that negative vibration. Either you're exchanging it with somebody else, or because it's a connection. You're connecting at the same level, at the same morphic field. So it's the same with other energies that do not have a body. Other energies that are rage and anger and sadness and grief and resentment. You connect to the entity of that field of that, and that amplifies your own feelings. So some of you may feel heavy after leaving a place. You feel really heavy, really tired. Just feel like sometimes it feels like you have a headache. Sometimes it feels like you can't think straight. Sometimes it feels like there's just this energy that feels heavy in your chest or heavy in your throat. So that's the energy. That's you picking up energy. That's you absorbing energy. That's you resonating with other energies around you, whether you intentionally were aware of that and intentionally wanted to clear, or unintentionally being open to receive that information. So a good practice for us not to pick up information is to clear our energy before we leave our natural space or home or environment where we feel safe, and then fill it up with unconditional love. And then be the observer, because a lot of times when we receive information, it's because we're trying to connect with them. We're trying to meet them where they're at. And a lot of times that's dropping our own vibration to meet others where they're at.
Yeah.
So in dropping your vibration, it's giving you power away. Weakening your field.
Yep. All right. I think what we're going to do today, which I know, is jump into some questions early, because I know people will want to get a little check from Maria, get a little support, get a little help, and then we're going to be diving into a lot of processes. When you, however, were inspired to actually work with us again this season and work with people, you created something called Unstoppable Abundance, Unstoppable You. And you say we can discover an energy breakthrough that awakens your abundance energy in just 3 days. Tell me about what Unstoppable You is all about.
Yeah, so Unstoppable You, and it's really the reconnection with yourself, right? It's accessing the pure potentiality within you and reconnecting with the flow that is already yours. And this is where the source codes are. This is you realigning and reactivating the part of you that is already abundant and reconnecting and being in that space of pure certainty, pure joy, pure compassion. And so it is a process that we practice. It's a practice that you do, whenever you feel like it, or even a regular basis. But it's the practice of coming back into yourself, into your alignment, and taking back or reconnecting with the space within you that is source, the space where you vibrate at the highest level. And then bathing in that beautiful energy, beautiful flow, and releasing and deactivating the programming that you've been carrying that has been creating disruption or interferences or confusion to your reality. And then it's a reset of your mental clarity. It's a reset of your heart space. And it's a reset of your field. And then moving forward from there. Yeah. So there is an alignment and activation of codes. There is a beingness that takes place. And the beingness it's the practice. And it's the practice that is ongoing. And then it's embodying that certainty. And in that place of surrender and I am, to allow that energy to flow, to allow your blueprint to reintegrate with you and allow you to ground into that new self, to move forward with ease, to move forward with confidence, to move forward in your divine partnership, in that knowing that you can have it all. And it's very beautiful. It's very healing. It's very expanding, and it's very beautiful. In the past, we spent a lot of time fixing, clearing, all of that. And yes, there's some of that. Every time we stretch, there is some letting go, some clearing that happens. But that's sort of secondary to being and expanding into the light, into who we truly are. And that's what it's about. It's not about necessarily fixing anything. It's more about the expansion of your truth and expanding your capacity, expanding your ability, and expanding the light within you that reorganizes, recalibrates your vibration in your field to redesign your life. And then again, the second part is the beingness. I am, and practicing in that space of unconditional love, gratitude, radical trust.
It sounds so beautiful. As you say it, I can feel the energy template. And just to circle back, this relates, of course, to abundance, because then we're in flow, we're in alignment, to expansion, to ease, grace, and all the things that we may need to live and stay in that existence. So share a little bit about the connection of that state to abundance, Maria, and then we'll get to some questions.
Yeah, well, it's the same state. It's the same state, because when you look at abundance, just abundance generates more than enough, right? That's the definition. More than enough, an overflow of resources, an overflow of whatever it is, right? So when people ask me about, I want to fix my abundance, or I want to work on my abundance, I want to work on my money flow, we work on you first, because you are abundant. You are the source. You are everything that is, so when we come back to that connection, when we come back to that alignment, abundance is already there. It's reactivated. So we don't work on bringing it in because it's
Mm-hmm.
not out there. We work on overflowing it. We work on rekindling, cultivating, and overflowing. And that's why we come within and we come back to the light. We come back to source. You being creation, you being source, divine power. And then allowing that to flow. And then we align, we magnetize the things that you truly desire because now you're in alignment. When we're reaching outside of you, your focus is getting it out there. But it's not out there. We begin from within. And then you're the catalyst for it.
And I got to share a few of things coming in, and I want to also share what Maria's doing because there's still time to get a 15-minute follow-up session in addition to the 45 minutes Maria's doing. We got a lot to cover, and I know we're on a little bit of a time frame as well, so I'll be mindful of that. I want to share a few things coming in, so let us know what you're experiencing as you come back. It's going to take a while, perhaps. uwealthrevolution.com/now, but one thing is for sure, you're such a huge giver. And gosh, you carry so much light. I love this for our beautiful community. I love it. I am so happy right now. And I know there's smiles everywhere as I can see. I want to share a few stories. Chelsea said, "Hey, Maria and Darius, since the last session I had with you, I decided to start a business with my younger sister. So that is awesome. Yeah, let me share another one. Is it possible to be part of the package right now? Yes, it is, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So I'll let people know it's on this page, and then we're going to keep with sharing more about it here. uwealthrevolution.com/Maria, MARIA24, and it's called Unstoppable Abundance, Unstoppable You. And one of the things that's been extremely popular, especially right now with the holidays coming up and then also moving into the new year, there's not only the 13-week series that you're going to get everything in here, and you're going to get the recordings and all the vibration, but also there's 4 live group calls. And then there is also the opportunity to work with Maria one-on-one in package C for 25 minutes. And then she's adding on to anybody that gets that package for the next 25 people, a 15-minute follow-up. So it's pretty amazing stuff. All of this energy is for this season, for this time, for this season in humanity. So it is all relevant. It is all here. And there's tons of stuff happening, including live calls, embodying, embracing, flowing, allowing, trusting. And with that, we've got a lot of people flowing, aligning, and trusting. Pedro said, lovely. Scotty, this has been such a gift. This is so incredibly awesome. Another person wrote in, wow, feeling like a huge light has been released. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maria, anything you want to share about the work or about what you are doing in this unstoppable prosperity, unstoppable you? I mean, this is your soul, really. And you know, when I think about what you said about your work and what you're here to do, you are here to usher humanity into enlightenment so that we can access their full divine potential and live as a supernatural self on earth with ease and grace. That to me is the ultimate way to go through life.
Yes. And what we're doing here in this program is moving up from the 3D to the 5D and really getting comfortable being there, but manifesting from there. Yeah, but manifesting in the 5D without the efforting. It's in the higher states of consciousness and embodying that beingness of source. So as you can see, it's a different energy. Yes, there is some letting go. There is some, noticing the thoughts that are there. But it's really more recognizing who you are and completely and totally embracing who you are and allowing your light to shine and allowing that flow to create for you, to guide you, to move you forward, to bring more of, what resonates with you at that level and people and places and opportunities and unexpected sources of income. Because that's how the universe flows, is that, it brings you, it magically brings you whatever you need, even if you didn't know that you needed it, or when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm right here, and if this doesn't happen, but when you surrender and you're in this place in flow, there is no worry, there is no stress, there is no, because you you're in that space of radical trust that you know absolutely the universe is going to take care of it. So, you experience yourself more, you experience life more, you access more joy, you live in your heart, and you share that with others. Like, they can experience you in your heart. And then that is the magic. That is you being the beacon for others. You can model that, or you become the model of that, and it becomes this beautiful ripple effect across, across the world. So that is what this is about, is elevating and upgrading to the higher state of consciousness, and then to surrender in that space and just really enjoy being in that space. And sometimes it takes a lot there because we're so used to the doing and the trying to control. And that's why the radical trust is so important, but then it becomes very natural.
That's right.
And then that amplifies your manifesting ability, because you're no longer focused on I have to manifest. It's just, what a wonderful life I'm living. I'm so grateful for. Yeah. All this abundance that is constantly overflowing in my life with ease and grace.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. And it's here in this work. Check it out. It's at youwealthrevolution.com/Maria24. That's the goal. So if you've been wanting maybe a tremendous shift or wanting to move forward in some really big way, we've put it together with Maria's help. She's such a blessing. There are tons of comments coming on. I feel free, says Sherry. Lisa, for once I have no words. That was probably the most amazing healing experience I've ever had. And I'll tell you, Lisa is a big, powerful healer herself, so she's had probably some amazing stuff. Heather, thank you, Darius and Maria. It was so profound, so gorgeous. So much was happening. One interesting point was I had the image of standing up, and if I recall correctly, I had a few seconds before Maria described what we might feel is like we are standing up. I felt so much energy. Wow. Still coming back, as we all are. It's difficult to find the words. So I'm going to let people focus on their experience. Maria, I know that you're in a little bit of a shorter timeline, and you gave a huge process here today, so I don't want to keep you too long. I think one of the things that we really want to share with everyone, is that we are born, I know, to be and do and live so much in our light, so much in our embodiment, so much in our power. And you're going to get into things like self-worth, money set points, money ceilings, blasting past the current income. But again, this isn't like a financial program. This is about limitlessness. This is about your soul embodying, flowing, surrendering, everything else. I mean, any final thoughts on what you'd like people to know on the transmissions you're doing, the emotional, physical, and mental? Because you're also going to be looking at reducing inflammation, stimulating digestion, strengthening skeletal systems. Yes. And you get into like this entire piece of balance and harmony and just the real alignment to abundance in so many areas.
Yes. What's important to know about this program and everything, and one of the things that we didn't mention earlier is that every time I come on your show, I'm guided by Source to create this. So this is new for this audience to know that this was divinely created for you. And this program is about your totality, your multidimensional body, for you to realign and reconnect and come back to your wholeness and unlock your true abundance and prosperity that's already within, that may have been disrupted or severed or constricted by what's happening across the time. And that's why the program is set up this way, where we work on the physical body, and then we go through the multidimensional body. And we work a lot in the energetic and the spiritual and beyond, because that's also the foundation of your truth. And so we expand from there out. And we want you to be able to hold abundance at every level, because the physical body also holds abundance or the lack of abundance. So we want you to be in that place of capacity, to have the bandwidth, to be able to, and to choose it, to have the mental clarity to choose it, and to have the confidence to own it and to embody it, and then to move into the flow, to be able to, be in the vibration of it, and to allow it to resonate and attract for you without the effort. So it's very beautiful, and you can see it has many different layers, and I love that. I love that it has many different layers, because we are a multidimensional being. So we want to address all the aspects of who we are in a very loving way, in a very empowering way, and then come back to our divine power, our divine will, our divine light.
I love it. Well, Maria, I want to thank you today. Go to youwealthrevolution.com/Maria24, and it's all there. And thank you for what you gave us today, and your heart and your love and everything you are. I'll let you just send everybody off in love here, and then we will set you free. This was a huge gift today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I just want to add one more thing about the time that we're in. Tomorrow is 11/11, a huge portal of very powerful manifesting. It's very prime for you to step into. It's like a springboard for you to manifest it. And if you really want to break through and get to the next level and access the higher frequencies or embody more, or really play in that field of infinite possibility, I really encourage you to step forth and choose for yourself any parts of the program, and especially the one-on-one sessions, because that's where we get to go deep into whatever your specific transformation needs to be or wants to be, or whatever you desire. And again, this is the perfect time because there's a quantum leap waiting to happen right now. So it's a big opportunity. So I encourage you all to consider that and take that leap of faith. Thank you, everyone. It was my pleasure to be here with you. Lots of blessings to you, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.